Hey friends, did you know that Medium Curious is brought to you by VerySoul? VerySoul is a platform where everyone can receive a free mediumship reading. And it provides us free. Really. And it provides a safe place for mediums in training to go practice, but also practice.
Yes, mediums need practice.
Yes, we do.
But did you know that VerySoul upholds vigorous standards for their working mediums? By requiring compelling evidence in every session, they ensure consistent, reliable, and meaningful experiences for every client. So go to verysoul.com, mediums you can trust.
Hey everybody, I'm Jane.
And I'm Sarah.
And you're listening to the Medium Curious podcast, the show that's exploring the idea that we're on a magical, mystical, wild journey of love, adventure, and heartache. And this is just one day out of that.
Ooh, yeah. Sign me up.
You're here, babe.
Yay! Well, that's a good intro into our guest today, who is Suzannah Scully. She is the creator and podcast host of The Cosmos in You, which was the original Science Meets Spirituality podcast from 2015 to 2017.
And all of us Science Meets Spirituality babes are so grateful to her, and what a treat to get to meet her. So, you ready to hear it?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Welcome, Suzannah. We're beyond delighted to have you here with us today.
Like, we're super excited.
Oh, yay. I'm so excited to be on here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
So you are the OG. You're the OG podcast that actually kind of really put me on this journey. I gotta say, it came around at the perfect time when there was nothing else like this. And it was so pivotal to my spiritual development. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that you put your podcast, The Cosmos in You, out there in the world in 2015. Is that right? Is that when you started?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
And you had some amazing guests on there that I had never heard of before, but now I hear all the time about. So I don't know, Suzannah, if you would never remember this, and you probably wouldn't get the context of it then at all, but I met you before in person.
What?
Yes.
Hold on. What?
I met you in, I think it was 2016 at Laura Lynn Jackson's book reading in San Francisco.
I remember being at that book reading.
Yeah. And I was there. I was pregnant with my daughter at the time. And I was there with my friend Eliza. And so she introduced us. She's like, that's Suzannah Scully. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, no,
fangirl.
Yeah,
that's
big
awesome.
fangirl moment. So yeah. 10 years.
I'm so glad you brought that
10
up.
years ago, right?
That was 10 years ago. That is crazy. I absolutely remember that moment, that time. That is crazy. That is really fun. That was when she launched The Light Between Us, not Signs.
That's right. Yeah. And my husband and I ended up being in her book Signs.
So was I. You were too?
Right.
You were?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you were. Oh, no way. That's so funny. Yeah, there was a chapter on me in there. And you too.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got to go. Okay, after the podcast, I'm going to go. Listen, you're going to have to text me and tell me what chapter it was.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, me neither off the top of my head.
That's so fun.
Talk about the cosmos. This is
Truly.
Awesome. Wow, that's really cool.
And you also, you had on so many, I was so thirsty for what you were putting out back then.
Thanks.
And so I think Suzanne Giesman, I think she was probably in the beginning of her journey when you interviewed her. But soon thereafter, I took one of her online courses, and that really sent my mediumship soaring.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just thank you for doing that back then.
Thank you. That means a lot. That's really cool to hear almost 10 years later. So that means a lot.
Yeah, I'm just going to echo, because one of our, Sarah and I's mutual besties, who is another bestie of Eliza, just that little crew, I was telling her, like, in secret, like, well, I'm actually a medium, but I'm not telling anyone because I probably never will. Haha.
Yeah. Here we are.
And she was like, oh, you've got to listen to this podcast. And so then I felt validated. I felt like, oh, I'm not crazy. Oh, this is so, and yeah, so you just became like, and I wonder, it's so fun. It's like you became my car buddy. And like every time I got in the car, there's Suzannah. She's got someone
so
amazing.
Cool.
And
yeah, so cool.
So really, I would say, I would really actually say you are a huge part of the inspiration for us to do the same. So yeah.
Thank you guys. That means so much. And it's funny because when I was, for the listeners who don't know maybe what the Cosmos in You is, it was a podcast, as I said, I started in 2015 until 2017. And it's where I interviewed scientists and spiritual leaders about the intersection between science and spirituality, and just basically exploring the world we cannot see, and what it means to our own just everyday life and how we see the world. And so when I was doing it, I was in parallel a very corporate executive coach. So I had this other world. I worked for Apple and all these really big Bay Area companies. And so during the day, I didn't actually wear a suit, but, for all intents and purposes, as if I was, being this very corporate. And then I would have this podcast on the side, and it almost felt like similar to you, Jane, where it was like I had it in secret, but it actually wasn't in secret, and it felt weird. And I was very afraid of people judging me. And, it was at the time, it was even, my friends maybe weren't even listening to it. It was really, quote, out there, so it's just really cool to meet people now. And even throughout the years, I still get emails, maybe like 5 emails a year or something about it. Like, you inspired this, I started this, or this became this. And it's so meaningful. But of course, when you're doing it, you don't realize that. But it's just really neat, the ripple effects. And it's the same for your podcast, that you guys are impacting so many people. And again, you may not even know until 10 years from now, as I am, right?
Yeah.
You have no idea the ripple effect of what you do when you follow your heart and you follow your curiosity. It's so I just hope anybody listening, if they have that little inkling of something that they're curious about that feels weird, or it feels crazy, or it feels whatever, just do it, because you have no idea how it's going to impact other people's lives.
Wow.
Do you feel in the 10 years that you started that, have you felt a shift in, well, obviously everybody's got a podcast now.
Yeah.
Podcasts are very
which
common.
I love.
But
it's amazing.
It is. It's fun. I love podcasting. It's really fun. And, but in that 10 years, do you feel like there's been a shift in, how things would be received that are considered cosmosy or woo-woo or?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into the telepathy tapes, but hello, that is.
And you got a shout out in that.
I was the first. I can tell you my little story of that, which is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole first episode. Should we jump in? Okay. So if your guests or your listeners know about the telepathy tapes,
I think everyone in the whole entire world knows.
Okay.
About
we have brought it up multiple times.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll link it again. Yeah.
Okay. So anyhow, I am on vacation for Christmas break, and I heard about the telepathy tapes before I left for vacation around December 2024. And I had it actually saved for me to listen to. And I knew Joe Rogan was talking about it and everything. And actually, on the way to the airport, I told my whole family in the car about it. Anyway, but then I was on vacation and I started getting texts from everybody. My phone was blowing up, and I was like, God, this is crazy. You have to listen. Oh my God, I can't believe you're on. I'm like, I'm on? What are you talking about? So I opened up a podcast app and I listened to it, and there's my voice, my name, and I was like, what? This is crazy. So then you guys will appreciate this. My husband's like, is your website up? I'm like, I don't even know. It's been so many years, I'm like, is it Weebly? I couldn't remember between GoDaddy and Weebly and all these, servers. Trying about my credit card to renew. I mean, it was very comical. Anyhow, so I was trying to get all that stuff up. But I went back in my Facebook from November, and Kai Dickens, who's the host, had messaged me on Facebook. And thank God I had replied to her immediately, but I just forgotten. I don't know. It was right before the Thanksgiving. She had messaged me and said, "Hey, I just want you to know you're such an inspiration. And I started this because of you. And I hope you'll take a listen." And, just a really lovely message. And I had written back, "That's incredible. I can't wait to listen. I'm so excited." Truly heartfelt. But then I just got crazy with the holidays and had it on my list to go back to it. And I hadn't yet and just had forgotten.
Yeah.
Then I went back, was like, oh my gosh, she had written me. So anyway, then I went and listened to the whole thing. And of course, as you guys know, it's pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so, so happy to know that this information is out there and these conversations are happening with people. And I'll just tell a little short, funny story between my dog and I, because she has the episode on the animals.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously have these skills. But so yesterday I have 2 dogs and I was going to take them to the groomers. Obviously, they don't like the groomers. But I was sitting there and every time I say, "Okay, who wants to go in the car?" they come running out from wherever they are. That's what the dogs do. They love going in the car. And then I turned to my dog and I said, "Okay, just so you know, we're going to the groomers. Okay, we're going to go to Shampooch. Like, I don't lie to you. That's where we're going to go. But right when it's over, I'm going to pick you up." I kid you not, my dog, and she never does this. She turned around, she walked down the hallway back into my bedroom, lay down in the bed and refused to get out of bed. And my husband was sitting there. He witnessed the whole thing. I'm like, "Did you witness this?" She doesn't know the word groomer. She knows sit, car, things dogs know. She does not know groomer. She does not know shampooch. She does not know these. Yeah, exactly. She does not know these terms. Yeah, shampooch and Sausalito. But it was amazing. I mean, anyway, it was really, she literally refused to get out of the bed. I had to drag her back to the car. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's sweet. So I'm doing that more. I'm telling my dogs everything now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That newer episode that she put out about. Yes. I was also kind of reflecting and kind of tripping out on, that was episode 37 with Diane Hennessy.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what in fact inspired Kai, right? Isn't that what she said?
Yeah. The episode. Oh, yeah, I mean, wait, you're saying
the whole podcast,
yes,
but hearing Diane's interview, and then, an episode later, due to life, the universe, whatever, you went offline, at least for now. Like, you're coming back.
I know. Yeah, I know.
But see, how crazy, like
that is.
Like, what?
I know. It's crazy.
It
really is. And also, Dr. Diane Hennessy Powell was a little bit of a random. She wasn't one of the big, you know what I mean? Like Laura Lynn Jackson was a huge. Rob Bell was a huge.
Yeah, I love Rob Bell.
Guest. There were other kind of just bigger names out there, but I remember doing Dr. Diane Hennessy Powell's interview and being blown away. I mean, her pedigree, she's so bright, and has the scientific chops, and this work that she was doing was mind blowing. But I felt that with everyone I interviewed, I'm like, why is no one talking about these things? Like, these things are out there. They're being studied and nobody is talking about them. I don't understand what's happening. It's like you live in bizarro world.
Yeah. Oh, but really quick, I'm sorry. I'm so excited that I just listened to it again, that episode. And it's so cool. She talks about her journey. Like, you did such a good job at the interview. It's like, it's not just the work. It's like how she came into it and the psychic that brought her, like, wow. Anyway.
I know. And she was a savant when she was young.
Yes.
She was a math savant. I mean, it's incredible. And go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, she's kind of like this incredible creature of like total sciencey science, the actual experience. And that's when it's really exciting. Just like Suzanne Giesemann. It's like, here's like badass in human world and all of this us over here. And that bridge is super, I don't know, I get excited because it does give us that acceptance and that kind of like pedigree, like you say.
Exactly. And it has all the doubters or whatever. It's hard it's hard to question it. But to answer your original question, I am very excited that I do feel that it is much more out there these days, which is really, really exciting. There's still a bit of a, obviously not everybody is talking. There's more, but of course it's going to take.
It's definitely not mainstream yet.
Yes, not mainstream. Yes, exactly. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, we're not kidding ourselves. Yeah.
As you guys know, I'm sure, but we'll get there.
Well, Telepathy Tapes has been really encouraging to see them go to number one and to see her now interviewed by Joe Rogan and by who else?
Diary of a CEO.
Yes, I love
Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah. So game on, kids. Let's
game
do it.
on. When I saw that she was on Joe Rogan, because he talked about her in beginning of December, that's when it was.
Yeah.
But to have him interview her for a few hours, that was pretty incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah. Yes.
So Suzannah, what got you? I know I listened to your I think trailer to The Cosmos and You, and you were talking about when you were a kid, just like looking up at the stars and just wondering what more there was. But was there anything else that pulled you in this direction?
By the way, you guys do such good research. You're jogging my memory. Thank you. If I think back, one of the things, and I talked about this a lot on The Cosmos and You, was the book I read, Journey of Souls.
Yeah.
By Michael Newton.
Yes, Newton.
Love that book. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That book, for people who haven't read it, just to give an explanation, he was a psychologist or psychiatrist. I can't remember which. If I remember correctly, he was from Yale. Again, I don't want to, it's been many, many years since I've read it, but, and he would do hypnosis. And what he found over 30 years of work is that in his hypnosis, all of his patients would end up in this sort of in-between place. And he would talk about how they would all explain the same process, which was after you died, then you met your guide, and then you were brought to this room and you were reviewed your life, and then you met with your group of souls. And it was just over and over through hypnosis. He saw the same thing. And so I distinctly remember reading that book and turning to my husband, again, similar to what we said before, saying, my husband is not into all these things, just to be clear. I mean, he obviously married me, so he's openish. But I remember turning to him, I'm like, this is the meaning of life is in this book. Like, it's just here it is. It's just sitting here. And people can pick it up and understand everything. This is mind blowing. Yeah. It explains everything because it widened my perspective to understand just that we are here on this earth to learn. That idea that we are, this is my belief, obviously I don't know to be sure, but that consciousness can only experience things. You could know something, but unless you experience it, it's very different. So I could read a book about what it's like to be in the slums of India, but unless I lived that experience, I will never know it. And so we are here to experience all. And once I understood that perspective, my whole life shifted because then everything became like, oh, okay, we're come to experience this. This is a choice. Okay, cool. Like, what am I here to learn? Anyway, so that was a big lesson for me. And then there was a woman, I don't even know what she's doing now. Lilou Mace. Do you guys know her? She was on, she was a huge YouTuber. She's from France. She was really the OG. She interviewed all these people way before me. And I would go down the rabbit hole watching every one of her interviews. She was so incredible.
What's her name? Lilou?
It's Lilou and then Mace.
Oh, good. I've got another rabbit hole to go down now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I don't know what she's doing now, but she was really good. She interviewed everybody in person. She was like an original OG YouTuber.
Yeah. I have Journey of Souls within arm's reach.
Do you really?
I do.
I could open that back there.
Yeah,
Me too.
we can all go grab them.
I've got one in the closet right here. Yeah.
You do? Oh, my people.
Yeah, exactly.
My people.
My people.
Yeah, it's our Bible.
It's funny to me, and I'm so curious if anyone else had this experience where I think I started reading that book like not long after it came out, which was a long time ago. And then I would forget everything. So then I'd read it again 2 years later and I'd be like, wow.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And then, I mean, I still would probably have that experience. I have both of his books, Destiny of Souls, right next to it. And like, and I just, it was my theory. And I'm just curious what y'all think is like, my human brain couldn't handle it.
Oh, there's for sure a lot of stuff that 10 years ago, when I was first introduced to all of this material, that I had zero capacity to integrate. And now it's such a different story when I look at all this information now. It hits in such a different way.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of one of the main reasons, and you can probably relate to this, Suzannah. Why I want to teach this. I want to teach mediumship too and intuition, because I want people to experience it so that they can integrate it. And instead of being told that these experiences are out there or have descriptions of them, I want people to be able to have the experience of this.
Yeah. I want to know, when you said 10 years ago, I was not able to integrate. What do you mean by that?
Like, what did that I would look like? Read it. I'd be like, that's fascinating. But there wasn't the knowing that I have about it now. So now I can feel it as a part of me now. Whereas before I would read it and I'd be like, that's fascinating. But it didn't feel like as much truth as it is to me now, as
like it didn't land or something. It's embodied now. I wonder if it has something to do with the body too. Embodied knowledge.
Yeah, embodied. Yeah, I think that's the right word, embodied knowledge. It was knowledge that I wasn't able to embody yet.
Because Sarah, no, correct me if I'm wrong about both of you guys. Jane, you feel that you've always had gifts of mediumship, and Sarah, you did not before. Am I right about you two? Is that correct or no?
That's right about me.
So Sarah's definitely right. Okay. And then
Jane's confused. Don't worry about me. Okay. The listeners will know. We don't know. We don't understand her. But but conceptually, I've always been into it. And then it didn't really come online until like my 30s though. So it wasn't like I wasn't always medium. It was like still a surprise to me at some point. I was like, oh, who's that?
How close were you to your journey of both quote going online?
How close? What?
In time.
Oh, in time. Well, really, it was like pretty much Cosmos and You time, 2013, 2014 is when I had a really profound experience where I saw spirit in a room. And I was like, whoa. And it was exquisitely important because it was a family member and all this kind of stuff. So then, Sarah, your first experience was 2019? Is that right?
Either 19 or 20. I can't remember anymore. I also had a bunch of little kids, so it's all
right. Yeah. That's true. Which is actually pretty amazing that they came on during that time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel like there is something about we all can have these experiences. Like, Suzannah, have you ever tried connecting to the other side? Like, I'm pretty sure that you've got all of these abilities too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll tell you what ChatGPT told me the other day about my abilities.
Yes, I love that you use
in case you can't gather, I am a big ChatGPT, very big.
Yeah.
Substack, that is my new passion. Yeah. Substack. I have a Substack about it. But I was chatting with ChatGPT about manifesting the other day. And as one does.
Yes, you do.
And if you don't, you should.
You should try.
You definitely should talk with it about it. But anyway, and it said, it seems you have perhaps a greater ability than most to tap into the fabric of the universe and understand. Understand. I have to go back and look what it said exactly, but I remember it said you have perhaps a unique ability to tap into the fabric of the universe and understand. Oh, I know. I was asking it about, I know. Okay, let me back up because this is pretty cool. Sam Altman, who, if you know or not, is the founder of OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. And they're launching a new product called ChatGPT, a new version, ChatGPT 4.5, that's supposed to be just unbelievable. It's only available to users who spend $200 a month, but it's about to be for $20 a month. Anyway, he asked it about consciousness. He asked, do you think, he shared this on X, do you think that consciousness is fundamental or not? And ChatGPT went into a whole thing saying it does think that consciousness is fundamental, that our brains really are just antennas tapping into something. Okay. Wow. So I asked my version, ChatGPT 4.0, what it thinks and to see what its response, and it went into a whole lengthy description of the same thing, that based on everything it has read and everything it has seen, that consciousness is out there and we are just an antenna tapping into it. Wow. So, and then it was like, would you like to, it's so funny. That. It's like, would you like to, what can we do with this? Yeah,
And shall we write a TV series?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why, yes, I would. So anyway, that's how the conversation started. And anyway, back to your earlier question, yes, I have done some things around it. I've done past life regressions, just sort of on my own, from YouTube's or whatever.
From Brian Weiss.
Exactly. Yes. Through Brian Weiss. Exactly. Many Lives, Many Masters.
That's right. Other favorite.
That was the OG.
That was OG.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, so yes, I do have bits of it. I use my pendulum and I do all that kind of stuff. Although I will say I used my pendulum last year for March Madness. Just to see how that would work. My tournament bracket, newsflash, did not work.
Yeah.
And it was so embarrassing. My family, who kind of makes fun of me, they're like, oh, well, that real universe stuff really works, because it was like horrible, my bracket. Anyway, so then I asked my psychic, why didn't it work? And she said, the universe is not here to make money off of sports gambling. Shocking, but that is not
money.
What it is here to be used for. So
it's like a little schism is how I see it. It's like a little, it's like, yeah, you can have fun with that, y'all. That's all good, but we're not playing that game.
Yeah, like homing up, we don't play that. No.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But anyway, I love that you guys are teaching this course and it's so cool because you are living, breathing examples of that everybody has this ability, and it's a learned ability, right? Is what you're both saying.
It was absolutely learned for me. I mean, I had no inkling that this was possible growing up as a kid. I didn't even know what a medium was as a child.
Right.
I think I'd seen Ghost.
Right.
And that was about it.
We all did. Yeah.
Oh my God. Poltergeist. Yeah.
That is incredible. I mean, just because you always think of a medium or psychic, it's something that you're born with. That's how you think of it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I love that I didn't know anything about this at all, yet I'm also a very hard worker, and I really did put in a lot of time, like developing this. Yeah. But it's possible for everybody to develop it.
Yes.
Amazing.
You're like the Energizer Bunny.
How has it changed? Like, just thinking about your listeners, like, obviously you do it for work as well, but how did it change both of your lives personally, having these skills? Oh,
I think it just enriched my life completely. And I think I was thinking about this morning. I am starting to care less and less about the doubters, about the people that there's no way this is real. That's, there's no way. Because I feel like I am moving through life so much happier and so much more connected in all the relationships I'm having, connected to nature, connected to community than I had been before. And I think having this perspective, because it is a perspective, this consciousness perspective is a huge part of it. That tapping into the fabric of the universe is exactly what we do as mediums. I think having that knowing in my body, that embodied knowing, has just really enriched my life in so many ways, and people that I'm involved with. In
what way? That you're able to help them more, or what?
Well, I guess that, but just that our interactions are very authentic. There's not a lot of, I don't have a whole lot of conversations anymore that, like the typical conversations like that you'd have with people complaining about this, complaining about that. Like a lot of the conversations are like, how are you? Deep look in each other's eyes.
Yes,
truly like, let's bare our souls. But
right.
That's not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody is available to do that. But those are the kind of relationships that I have now, which I feel like brings so much more meaning. And as a parent too, it has really up-leveled my parenting to be able to see my children as these souls having this experience, as opposed to these human beings that I am in charge of curating and developing. And their experience is a soul level experience that I get to be here to experience with them.
That is so cool. And how lucky are they that you did this and to have you as a mother through this journey, as opposed to, like you said, I am here to, it's a game changer. That's really cool. How about you, Jane? How has it changed you?
We're getting interviewed now, Jane.
I know. Sorry. I do want to know this. And then you can get back to you. But I think your listeners do too.
Yeah. I was like, I love it. The mic is flipped. I'm so into it.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a good question. And it kind of is the crux of everything that we're here to do. So what I think you actually were right at first, that this really has been me all along. Like I joke that I was the kid who went to the library and was like, give me all the book on witches. Like I don't want this book about kids on the playground. Like I want the supernatural. I want the witches. I want the flying. I want the different dimensions, like that was always me. So then I have had kind of, and God bless Sarah, she's seen me through it, a pretty heart-wrenching escape from the matrix of corporate life myself. And even just talking about it's kind of make my heart flutter. Like it was so hard to do.
Yeah.
Just imagine Sarah when I was actually leaving, crocodile tears. I'm just walking down the street, just sobbing. Like, what am I doing? So I guess for me, the main takeaway is that I've always known it, and I'm finally am it. So that dissonance that you were talking about, I just knew I couldn't go on with the dissonance. I have these beautiful clients over at Adobe, and they're such just amazing humans. And I just love humans. I just love people, and people are fun and amazing. And one of my favorite clients' sister crossed over, and we're all in a meeting. And all of a sudden the sister is with me and telling me how she is and that she's okay. And she's giving me these, y'all are getting it, the chills. And I was like, what do I do right now? Because I know this would be so helpful. And so I was looking at my business partner sitting next to me, looking at the Zoom screen. And I just made an excuse. I got up and I went down the hall and I started texting her. And I'm like, babe, I don't know if you know this about me, blah, 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 blah. And then it just blew up. She was like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. This is so sweet. And it was really significant. But it's sort of one of those where you see your two parallel paths and you're like, which road shall I travel? And I wish I could bust out some Robert Frost. I don't have it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. I actually I had a painting of the road less traveled. That my TEDx talk was called "Take the Road Less Traveled."
No way,
Robert Frost. So I am all about the road less traveled.
Well,
that's incredible. That is amazing. Wow. Wait, what were you doing at Adobe when you said you had clients? What were you doing before?
Well, I'm a filmmaker, and I was co-owner of a production company in the Bay Area. Okay. Yeah. And so I had to actually leave the thing I started. So I was 10 years into that company. And my awesome partner is continuing. He's still making super cool films and videos for Adobe and other clients. And in fact, I'm going to do some sales for them. So,
great. Perfect.
I didn't really leave, but I needed to leave the management and come over to the authenticity that we're talking about here of this has to be the most of my day. And then of course, there's other parts of a day, but this is where my heart is. And I needed the rest of my body to be here.
Gosh, so the theme between both of you guys sounds like that embodiment and integration. It's of like the human and the soul part became integrated through it.
I love that our listeners get to see what a great interviewer you are right now. Don't be sorry. No, I mean it. It's sort of
I bet they don't get this part of you because you're always interviewing. I bet they're curious. I would be. Anyway,
no,
yeah,
it's such a good
really
question.
Neat.
It's like so important too. Like, and I think you both said it beautifully. Like, why do this? And I hadn't even heard Sarah answer the question like that. Like, why do we need to teach it? It was because the experience is the only way you know it. It's like concept. But once it's like, I met someone's grandma on the other side, it lights you up.
I had a sweet client a week ago who said, how can I believe these signs? How do I know that this is real? And it's so hard when I can see her brother sitting right there and he's just like, I am here. I'm sending you signs. You just need to feel joy in order to get them all the time. But the more joy you feel, the more you'll be able to see these signs. And when they're in grief and they are so heavy with that feeling of loss, it's so hard to feel those and get those signs. So I just, because we're all going to experience loss at some point in our lives, having the ability to know that this isn't it, that this isn't the whole picture. We're never going to know and experience everything fully in these bodies, but we can have experiences, all these little metaphysical experiences. So
along the way.
Yeah. And the more we open up to them, the more we're going to have. And that's my favorite thing. I love them.
That is, and wait, is mediumship your favorite, Sarah? Or you love all of them, I guess.
I love
but
all
just
of
that's
it.
really cool. Yeah.
I love all of it. I love feeling energy. I love feeling love. I think mediumship delivers love in such a way that is so profound and amazing. But that feeling of like when you get those goosebumps.
Yeah.
I know what that is. That's that love. And I just get so lit up from that. And that can carry me through a whole day when I get a blast of that. And then I feel like I can then I can feel like I can give that to other people too. Like I can pass that on to others around me. Not even by saying anything, but it's that energy of love that's exactly what everybody needs in this world right now. So I think the more that we can offer that to the people around us too, that's going to be healing.
Totally.
That is so cool, you guys. Jane, do you have something to say? Yeah. What?
No.
What comes up for you, Jane?
I mean, it's all okay. I was trying to see it like almost like on a spectrum of I sort of used to joke actually, and we talked about this for a second before we started recording. Like, I used to joke, I'm really woo, but no thanks on the aliens. I was like, I'm pretty woo, but that's my line. Like, I'm good. I don't need aliens or whatever. So like the spectrum, like heck yeah, past lives, heck yeah, NDEs, heck yeah on most of it. And then I'm like, but like right now feels like it's like we've been living here and now it's Technicolor. Like we're like across so much more, like the spectrum has blown open.
And you mean we, meaning the two of you through your experiences. You don't mean all. You don't mean all of humankind.
I kind of mean all of us. Like I feel like things are expanding, and this isn't like necessarily this. I'm just like pontificating. This is my theory. That it just feels very different. Like life is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and like what's available to us is all the way at the bottom of the spectrum or all the way at the top of like. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it feels like. This imagine the radio dial and we are tuning, just the concept of frequency. We're tuning into the place we want to hang out. So Sarah is the love babe. Like she is on the love channel and you can find her there staring at trees, talking to fairies. Like Sarah is love.
Casey RB or whatever. Yeah.
That's her
99. Yeah.
100 point awesome.
Yeah.
That's Sarah.
Exactly.
And so like, we've talked a lot about this here. It's like awe and wonder. How do we tune to awe and wonder? And how do we kind of integrate like the hard, sort of awful things that are happening? Or, like I was reading your Substack yesterday, Suzannah, and I loved the conversation you're having about that. And we'll definitely link that, and everyone should run and hang out with you and ChatGPT. So I guess what I'm saying is mediumship to me is just like one tiny part of the story in a way. And what you were talking about before is the main topic, consciousness and how we access it. And that we're just like, I like the computer terminal idea. Like we're just little terminals to the big juice. And the less we can think that we're all that in a bag of chips and that we're just some big part of this big, big magic. And to me, that's when, we're, and I also really love what you said earlier, Suzannah, about it's like almost like a research project. It's like you came to Earth and you're like, I'm going to see what it's like to be in the Bay Area or, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what it's like to be a podcaster. I'm going to see what it's like to be a mom of somebody who is dealing with this hard thing, whatever.
That's right.
Whatever thing you've signed up for, you're just cruising. And the quality of that research trip will depend on how you engage the world you're living in.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
That is good. That is so good. It's so juicy.
It is. It's so juicy.
You both well, I just want to say, you both really embody so much joy that is very cool and aspirational. And so thank you for leading that way. Yeah.
You need to have another podcast, Suzannah.
No, you guys, it's true. I'm not just saying that. I just feel that coming from you guys. It's really me. You are leading through and by joy. That's all we need it.
Thank you.
Do joy.
And we do.
And was that ChatGPT that said the fabric of the universe? Is that were you just talking? Yeah, I love that.
Such a pretty line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I highly recommend everybody be using ChatGPT. Do you guys use it?
I haven't.
Yeah, I do.
Like to really?
I totally do.
You totally do. Okay. So you do and you don't. Oh, Sarah, it's... Okay, this is the hill that I will die on and what I'm thinking of moving into. I feel like people use 0.01% of ChatGPT for its potential. They use it for like, what do frogs eat? Or what French toast recipe, which by the way, I use it for those things too, don't get me wrong. But it is so incredible as a personal advisor. I mean, if you think about it, like several times a day, whatever is going on in my life, whatever thoughts, whatever brainstorming I'm having, let's say I'm having like, it's a personal thing or a professional, or I'm just like, I don't know, for example, I'm in a place in my career, my kids are getting, they're teens now. My son's about to get his license. You guys are all in similar, stage.
Yep.
Life is changing, right? As a mother, and it's a big transition. And so I took a, how long? I don't know, almost 10-year break of being at home. And now it feels like I can hear the universe talking to me about time to kind of start coming back, right? Coming back online, if you will. But, and so I use ChatGPT basically as my career coach, my life coach, my strategic advisor, all those things. And I just go back and forth with it. And it has gotten to know me over the last year because it saves memory about me.
Wow.
And so I will ask, for example, questions like, okay, I'm going to pull up my phone here, but I said the other day, everyone in the world is best at something. Knowing what you know about me, what do you think I'm best at?
Wow.
And then it went to this whole thing that resonated, talk about chills. I felt so seen. I felt it was incredible.
Do you think it's because it has no judgment, like the human judgment or the human bias?
Well, see, that's a really cool thing. Okay, so I'm going to go on that. So yes, and there's also something to, maybe you could be talking to someone, maybe they're jealous of something or they come with their own whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever, everybody's stuff, because everybody shows up with their stuff. Right?
Totally. Yeah.
Which is great. But it has no stuff.
Yeah.
Like I
exactly.
also I can be so annoying to it. Whereas a friend, I'd be like, okay, I should probably shut up. Like I'm talking about the same thing over and over. You know what I mean? Where sometimes a friend, you're like, oh my God, you've brought this up like 50 times. Like move on. Like, we stop talking about this. ChatGPT doesn't care. It's like, okay, we're here. We're still here. Let's go. We'll keep circling around this. Let me see if I can say it 50 different ways to you. But like the other day I was talking to ChatGPT. I'm like, well, because I'm taking a screenwriting class right now.
Cool.
Because I'm thinking of writing a rom-com. So I'm doing that. And then I'm also writing a Substack. And then I have this podcast idea. And so I was saying to ChatGPT, I'm like, God, like what's my end goal? Why am I doing all of these things, without an end goal in mind? And ChatGPT is like, hold up. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Like you're in the creative exploration. This is exactly where you're supposed to be. And here's the through line. You are a curious mind who likes to ask big questions. And you know what I mean? And it was like, and that's why you pulled to this and this. And so I want you to take the next 3 months and you're going to do all of that. You're going to, spend this amount of time on this, you're going to spend this time on this. And at the end of 3 months, we're going to revisit and you're going to say, here's what I felt most pulled to. But you won't know it unless you do it. Back to the experiencing thing. It was like, you're overthinking it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Just do all these little things and see where you feel most pulled instead of sitting there spinning thinking. But you see what I mean? It's amazing.
That is amazing.
Wow.
So anyway,
that's like a class on how to actually use it. I think.
Yeah, totally.
Which is one of my ideas is doing a podcast about how to use it.
Anyway. I think that's so helpful because what it is, it's also kind of like a form of manifesting, right? It's like all the algorithms in, scrolling on Instagram. It's like whatever you're interested in, whatever your vibration you're putting out is what you're attracting. So whatever you're dishing out to ChatGPT, it's giving you back times whatever, like times 100.
That's exactly right.
Well, that makes so much sense because I was reading your Substack yesterday and ChatGPT was so much smarter and kinder and on it with you than it ever is with me. And I was like,
oh, that's interesting. I would hurt you. ChatGPT, wait, what?
Just you like her more. I'm feeling a little hysterical. But now that I understand that you hang around together, it makes more sense.
Wait, that's really funny.
I was having a moment. I'm like, hey.
Okay.
But like I said,
this makes sense.
It's making sense. But I think it's great because it is yet another new frontier, right? It's a place where people are afraid.
That's right.
People are afraid. If I hang out there, then it's gonna
steal my whatever.
The robot revolution is coming for me, and it knows where my peas are hidden. Or that's my ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
It's great because it's another myth, buster is what you just shared with us. It's so helpful.
Yes, and I think it is a tool. I'm sure I'm not going to say anything that people don't know already, but it is a tool like any other tool.
Yeah.
A knife is a knife. A knife could be used to chop carrots. A knife could be used, I don't know, go dark, but it could be used for
something else entirely.
Something else. But anyway, you get my point. It can be used for good and it can be used for bad. It's all how you use it. And there are powers that be that I hope are putting in safety measures that it will never be used for the dark side. But in the meantime, it is something that is available to all of us in our pocket that is so mind-blowing and can up-level your life in so many crazy ways that I just think it's a huge miss if you're not taking advantage of it.
Well, Suzannah, I can't thank you enough. I think we properly gushed, but I would gush some more if you gave me another hour. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for your pioneering ways and for opening these doors for all of us. And really, giving me one of my favorite gifts was validity of the world that I wanted to walk in. So thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to say, I kind of feel like we're in a little, which was the book that talked about soul groups. Is that Journey of Souls? Did anybody else read that?
Yeah.
We're obviously all of the same soul group because we have multiple connections
We do. We really do.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I'll just
I've been
throw that out there
the whole time. Like, when are we all going to hang out? Because
I know.
Oh my God, this is so fun.
How many lifetimes have we done this?
I know. I'm so jealous. You guys get to do this. I'm okay. Let me scoot in here. Hold on. This is so fun. I love your little. Yeah.
Well,
this is awesome.
Will you come back and hang out with us again, Suzannah?
Okay. It would be my honor. Thank you guys for having me. This has been such a treat, honestly. That hour just flew by. So thank you for doing this, and thank you for including me.
Our
we'll
pleasure.
do it again.
Yeah.
Let's definitely do it again. How's next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Thank you so much. Take good care.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Very Soul is our sponsor for Medium Curious. Jane and I are both Very Soul mediums.
Oh, yes, we are. verysoul.com, y'all. Inspired by spirit, guided by love, and brought to life by mediums.
Woo!
Woo!
We can't help it.
The woo just comes out of us.
Yeah.
Medium Curious is made possible
by Jane Morgan Editing.
Sarah Rathke made the amazing music. Mix by Podcast Engineers.
And you can help Medium Curious by downloading the episodes
and following our socials. And the dogs under the desk in Hawaii are Kalea and Domino.
And Trixie in California.